Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and in this video I'm going to be looking at team stickers from the Boston Major and analysing their outlook as investments now that the sale is over, and hopefully handing out some helpful advice in the process. Two things before I start. Firstly, the prices of the stickers in this video are rapidly changing, and the video obviously can't keep up with that. Cloud9 in particular has gone up in price quite a bit as I've made the video. However, at the end of the day, it's the underlying analysis that's more important than the exact prices, and I don't think any of the recent changes in price have undermined my conclusions. I predicted Cloud9 would go up quite a bit anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Secondly, I was going to look at ordinary autograph stickers in this video, but I had to cut it due to a lack of time. I'm hoping I'll be able to do a separate video on them at some point. But anyway, enough of that, let's get started. So, my basic advice on team stickers at this point is to hold, but it is more complicated than that, and I'll get into why, but I'll start from explaining why this is my general advice, and then we'll go from there. So, right after the sale ended, a Reddit user named The Bottom Scorer, I can relate, compiled this spreadsheet, which I've appropriated because it demonstrates very effectively what's going on. As you can see, we've got quantities listed for Krakow, Boston, and Atlanta. And you can very clearly see that Boston has similar supplies to Atlanta rather than Krakow. Now, Atlanta was a good long-term investment, while Krakow bombed. So it's fairly straightforward to imply from this that Boston may be a good long-term investment as well. However, we still need to go quite a bit deeper at this point and break down some of the details before we draw any permanent conclusions. This presents a bit of a problem though, because there's 24 stickers, and going through 24 stickers would take a while, so I'm going to limit myself to the 8 I've invested in. All of the principles I talk about when I'm going over them equally apply to any other sticker from this major, and I'll try and make these principles as clear as possible. So I've drawn up this chart. There's lots of data I could have used, but this is a balance I drew between being comprehensive enough without being too complicated. It's color coded, green is good, bad is red. I thought it might make it a bit easier to follow. I've also included the price that I purchased these stickers at. It's worth noting that I bought some of them off the Steam market for less than 25 cents. Most of the prices have gone up. I'm in the black overall, well, in the green, with a few exceptions. The long-term performance of these stickers is obviously going to be contingent on supply, so we'll look at that first. We have the quantity listed on the market for each of these stickers on the 30th of January, when the major sale ended, and on the 3rd of February, which is when I took this data. As you can see, the best performing stickers tend to have dropped in terms of the quantity listed, and the worst performing stickers have risen in terms of quantity listed. Now that isn't too surprising. If the price of something is rising, you generally expect the quantity to be falling. So it's a very positive sign for stickers like Cloud9, Space Soldiers, Flash, and SK. But what about the stickers that are rising in quantity listed, like FaZe, G2 Australis, Liquid, and Gambit? How bad is that? Well, rising quantities in the sort of week following the major sale ending isn't actually abnormal. For instance, if we look at the Liquid and Gambit stickers from Atlanta, which are stickers that performed okay over the long term, but not brilliantly like the Australis or FaZe stickers from Atlanta did, both of these stickers rose in quantity over a period of about 10-ish days after the major sticker sale ended. Nonetheless, in a couple of months that trend had been completely reversed, and you could sell both of the stickers for a decent profit. So this isn't abnormal, and it doesn't mean that the price of these stickers won't rise in the long run. It doesn't prove they'll rise either, but I'll get to that. Additionally, if we focus on the real success stories of the Atlanta Major, like FaZe and Australis for example, those stickers did drop in supply right after the sale ended, so it's not surprising to see Cloud9 and Space Soldiers and Flash performing quite well. But if you look at these charts for FaZe and Australis at Atlanta, you can see they still ultimately rose in quantity after this initial dip. So what does that mean? Well, it means two things. Firstly, it means that the quantity of stickers like Cloud9 and Space Soldiers and Flash listed on the market may start to increase in the near future, and this will have a negative effect on their prices. But it also means that this isn't likely to ruin them as long-term investments. So I've been talking about supply, but this is only half the picture. What about demand for these stickers? Since I'm approaching these stickers as long-term investments, we need to think about what the long-term demand for these stickers will be. This is something I call organic demand. Demand that exists for the stickers once the hype from the major and the sticker sale wears off. In theory, if you know roughly what organic demand is, you can look at the supply, work out roughly what that is, and then construct a model that will show the long-term price trend of a sticker with some accuracy. However, I had a look at constructing a simple model to do this and gave up pretty quickly. And there was one primary reason. The period shortly after a sticker sale ends is a very medical indicator of organic demand in the long run. It does give some indication, but there's significant variation. And obviously, if we're looking at Boston, we only have that period shortly after the sticker sale to work from, so it's not really possible to know what its long-term organic demand is going to be. Now, there is a way around this, and that would be to construct an econometric model factoring various other things, but I haven't done econometrics for ages. I don't have the computer programs to do it with. It would take ages, and to most people that probably all sounded like jargon, which is why I'm going to leave it behind. Instead, what I've done is I've constructed a simple index that we're just going to use as a basic indicator. So on the far right of the spreadsheet, I've calculated the quantity listed on the 3rd of February over the volume of stickers sold on that day. This is going to be a basic indicator of how demand for these stickers is squaring up to their supply. Now, just to be completely clear, this doesn't measure total demand against total supply. It's just an indicator and a point of comparison between the different stickers. So generally speaking, the better performing stickers are getting lower scores. So Cloud9 and Space Soldiers have the lowest scores at 2 to 3 respectively. Flash and Phase are actually the worst at around 10 each, so I'll need to talk about each of them separately at the end. The rest are somewhere in between. Comparing this to other majors, the Atlanta stickers I looked at typically had scores of about 2 to 3, 4 days after that sale ended, while if we look at the Krakow stickers that actually performed okay in the long run, so stuff like SK, Fnatic, VP, stickers that had long run prices of about 30 cents, they had ratios of about 7, 4 days after that sale ended. So look, I've been going on about this for a while now, it's time I gave some conclusions. One last factor I do have to add in is that the next major isn't expected until September, so that does give a lot of these stickers longer than usual to increase in price before a new set of stickers are released. Going off this data, I think the signs are really positive for Space Soldiers and Cloud9. I think considering the high volume of sales to quantity listed at the moment, these stickers are going to go very well. You can hold them, their prices are going to keep going up at this point. It might not be in a straight line all the way, but in the long run, it is going to be up. As for the stickers that have quantity listed to sales ratios of between 4 and 7, so that's SK, G2, Astralis, Liquid, Gambit, I think the prospects for these stickers are good, but not great. I would be surprised if any of them end up with a price above 40 cents. Although these stickers are currently increasing in quantity listed on the market, this is entirely normal. The amount listed is still relatively low, and all these teams have established fan bases which are probably going to continue to buy their stickers in the long run. I think they'll all probably end up with prices well into the 30-cent range, and on that basis I will be holding onto my stickers, although I'm not expecting amazing returns. That leaves Flash and FaZe, who both have particularly poor quantity to sales ratios. They're both about 10. I actually have different conclusions for each sticker, and they're a bit counterintuitive. So I'll start on FaZe. FaZe is a well-established team that's probably going to win a bunch of tournaments this year. They've got a huge fan base, there's always good long-term demand for their stickers. Although the quantity of stickers listed on the market has gone up so far, we're still looking at a quarter of the number listed at Krakow, so it's still a relatively small number. I think in the long run, these will do okay. My recommendation is hold. I have different conclusions for Flash, however. Teams like Flash that only ever really get to one major have a cool sticker, the sticker's popular at the time, but that's the only real exposure in the sun that they ever get. Generally speaking, they don't have good long-term demand for their stickers. We've seen it happen before with Splice, and I think it's going to happen again here with Flash. Maybe not to the same extent, this is a really cool sticker, but it had the highest initial supply, initial quantity listed on the market of any of the stickers here. As a result, it's probably the most highly invested sticker here, and its demand relative to the quantity listed is low. it's too low. I wouldn't hold these past the medium term. They may do good as investments in the medium term. I'm expecting to see a nice little profit for them, but don't hold them for 6 months. I would try to sell them off within a month. I think after that point, they're going to show problems. Their price might not completely crash. They may still remain above 30 cents. Splice has in the long run, but the best opportunity to sell them for profit will probably have passed. So that's my thoughts on those stickers. If you're holding different stickers, you can do exactly the same thing. Compare the number listed with the rate at which they're selling. That should give you an okay sense, not a great sense, but a decent sense of where they're going in the long run. And also keep in mind peripheral factors that might affect how well they're going to sell in the long run, what that organic demand is going to be. And those are things like how big their fan bases are. The bigger the fan base, the more organic demand. How much Counter-Strike they're going to be playing over the next 6 months, the more they're going to be playing, the more organic demand. Are they likely to win any tournaments over the next 6 months? That's also likely to increase organic demand. So just think those things through, and also keep in mind that overall the supply of all these stickers is quite low, and it will be quite a long time till the next major, so that's working in your favour. So now that that's out of the way, there's a couple of small things I wanted to talk about. Firstly, there's the Misfit Sticker. The price of this sticker has gone up because people are investing in it thinking that the organisation is going to leave CSGO. There is a legitimate investment opportunity here, but keep in mind it is going to be a highly speculative one. I can't offer any promises, I can't offer numbers to back it up. It's just a guessing game. If it is announced that the organisation is exiting CSGO and not picking up another team, the price of that item will almost certainly spike. So if you buy some of the stickers now, you can expect to make a nice little profit if that announcement happens. What you shouldn't do though is expect that these will be good long-term investments. The highest prices ever that they're going to have will be after that announcement that the organisation is leaving CSGO. I don't think they'd ever recover back to that point. Now, here's the risk. The org may simply proceed to pick up another team. The announcement that it has may coincide with the other players being announced as leaving the org, so it may not pan out. Nonetheless, if you want to take that risk, I say go for it. It's a reasonable thing to take a punt on. Just keep in mind that it is speculative and I am not promising anything. Oh, and if they announce that they're dropping their players but don't announce until 2 weeks later they've actually bought another team, you should still get away with it. Finally, we can talk about holo and foil team stickers. I've invested in a few of these. I've bought holo liquids, Mouse Sports foils, SK Gaming holos, Na'Vi foils, G2 holos, Space Soldiers holos, and Vega Squadron holos. The general rule with these sorts of stickers is that they will go up if their capsule goes up, and so far we're seeing the returning Challengers capsule and the minor Challengers capsule do well, and the Legends capsule not do so well. So my SK stickers aren't looking too good, but the rest of them I'm quite happy to hold at the moment because the long-term prospect for those capsules also seems to be good. And I'll probably be too lazy to sell the SK stickers anyway. So as a result, my general advice is, if you've got stickers from the returning Challengers or minor Challengers capsules, hold. If you've got stuff from the Legends capsule, maybe consider selling because I don't think that capsule is going to do quite as well. Also, be aware that the prices of individual stickers from holo and foil capsules can be quite erratic in the long run. They are susceptible to manipulation sometimes, so keep an eye out for that. Those can be really good times to sell for a much higher profit margin than you normally would. I've also got one final caveat to go with this. I don't think the Flash Gaming stickers are going to hold their price in the long run, the holo and foil Flash Gaming stickers, because I think they're sort of hyped at the moment, and hype doesn't last. If you want an example of that, go look at what happened to the Splice sticker at MLG Columbus, and this may have actually bad long-term implications for the minor Challengers capsule, but we won't worry about that at the moment. If you're holding some of these stickers though, at this point I'd recommend selling. I don't think that price is going to be sustained. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. There will be more to come, particularly for the Tyloo and 100 Thieves stickers. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus, thanks for watching, see ya.